AltVerse doesn't claim absolute truth. We just create space. To question reality, we're here to ask, what if it's not? So, let's talk about, what if the moon landings were fake? Okay, let's get into this. On July 20th, 1969, humans accomplished something truly remarkable. For the first time ever, a human being set foot on the moon. At least that's what NASA and every single reputable space agency in the world will tell you. The footage we saw on TV was beamed live from the moon. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins had successfully completed the Apollo 11 mission. They left Earth, docked with the orbiting command module, explored the lunar surface for a few hours, and then headed back home to Earth. Armstrong's famous quote, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," was heard around the world and changed our perspective on our place in the universe. It was an incredible achievement, and it was televised live. Over the years, conspiracy theorists have pointed out some pretty compelling reasons to believe that the moon landings were fake. There are a lot of weird things going on in the footage. For starters, where are the stars? If the astronauts were really on the moon, shouldn't the sky be filled with stars? But when you watch the footage, it looks like there isn't a single star anywhere. Sky's filled with clouds, sure, but not stars. NASA's explanation for this is pretty simple. The lunar surface and astronauts are brightly lit by the sun, so standard cameras can't see the stars. But there's a problem with that argument. Standard cameras can actually see the stars in these conditions. And if they can, why didn't the cameras used on the moon landings pick them up? Then there's the American flag waving in the wind. Now, conspiracy theorists will say that telescopic pole that is holding out the flag, like that was actually meant to keep the flag from filling with lunar dust? Sure, but why don't we see more telescopic poles in other shots? Take this one, for example. Why is the flag all scrunched up like that? Wouldn't it make more sense if it was just unfurled like this? Or how about this shot? Yeah, that telescopic pole sure seems to be doing a lot of heavy lifting. Oh, and let's not forget about the USMC Eagle on the flag. It looks like it's flapping its wings, doesn't it? As if it's trying to escape the lunar surface. Coincidence? Maybe. But could it just as easily be explained by a telescopic pole? Also, coincidence. Okay, so maybe those images can be explained away, but what about the video of the lunar surface? How can we be sure that it really is the lunar surface and not just a studio lot? Well, some say it's impossible to be sure because there are no real-time shadows. Now take a look at this picture of Neil Armstrong on the moon. His shadow is clearly visible on the lunar surface, but it's much shorter than his actual height. Same goes for the flags. Their shadow is way shorter than they actually are. This could be explained if the light source was much closer than the sun, like say a studio light. But there's another possibility. Maybe the legendary filmmaker Stanley Kubrick had something to do with it. You see, Kubrick had already directed a movie about a space journey before the moon landings. A movie called 2001, A Space Odyssey. Could he have been contracted by NASA to direct the moon landings? After all, he was already an expert on making space movies. Plus, it would explain some of the things that don't add up, like the lack of stars, the flag waving in the wind, the telescopic pole, the lack of real-time shadows. And hey, the guy did fake the ending of The Shining, so faking the moon landings wouldn't be beyond him. Now, obviously none of us here at the channel are qualified to say whether or not the moon landings were fake. We leave that up to the experts. But what we do know is this: whether the moon landings were fake or not, it's safe to say that they were one of the most important events in human history. If they were fake, it was one heck of a well-executed hoax. If they're real, then humans really are capable of some truly special things.